Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host AMF1534 here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo 2, the real driving simulator. So what we're doing right now is last time we started up the good old-fashioned 80s sports car cup. It was fun. I had a good time with it. So we got the first two races done out of the way. We've got 3 more to go. So we'll see how the world treats us as we go into the deep forest. I don't even know if we've even done anything in the deep forest yet. Actually, I think we've done it like one time, and it was with a car that had more horsepower than this, I think. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm having one of those days. I was sitting here watching the Blazers game, and they were doing really good against the Thunder, and then all of a sudden they started getting their dicks chopped off. So it's like, you know, we're just not going to watch that anymore, even though I still have it playing on the TV right next to me. But I'm not giving it any attention. It doesn't deserve it. The Blazers are embarrassing me right now. They're sitting here playing, I'm like super good, and they're like, oh yeah, they got a chance. And all of a sudden I look back over there again after I'm done editing my other video that I put up today, and all of a sudden they're down by 20. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? What the hell happened all of a sudden? The entire world is ripping apart at the seams. So yeah, we're doing this whole 80s sports car cup thing. I really wish I would have, you know, been alive in the earlier part of the 80s so I could have driven one of these. Just to, you know, I'm driving a 93, you know, Honda Accord, so it's not too far away, but, you know, I wish I would have been, you know, in that age where these types of cars were popular. Like, oh yeah, I got myself an 88 Mazda Trueno, yeah, dog. Even though they wouldn't have even been saying it back then, like, yeah, man, rock on, blah, 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 80s typical banter of some kind. I don't know if we've even done this race yet. I really don't remember being in here. Now that I think about it, I really don't. I know that at some point, I'm pretty sure that the Deep Forest is actually one of the endurance races that we'll have to tackle at some point. So I guess it's good that I'm, you know, getting familiar with this a little bit now, because we're going to have to do it eventually, and I'm probably not going to like it. It seems like it's a little bit weird as far as turns are concerned, so whoop-de-doo. And there's the garage. I'm sure plenty of you can hear that since it's louder than goddamn jet carrier taking off. Whoa! You ever want to try to sneak into this house covertly after you've been out late at night? Not gonna fucking happen, I can tell you that. Be like, okay, let's just try to get into the house really quietly now. It's like, God. And that way you can sneak into my house through the front door, because mysteriously the door is just super quiet. I mean, I'm not mad at that. I think it's great that it's at least remotely quiet, so that's cool. But, oh, I gotta tell you about this lady that came today. It was like it was one of the weirder things I've had to deal with. Like, you guys hear stories about this all the time, because, you know, this is like my divulge all of my information about people that stress me out and piss me off type of platform. But, I had this lady that came in, and, she comes in with like a paper sack, and it's, whenever that happens, you just know she's gonna try to return something. Because nobody, you know, they just don't do things that way. So, she comes up to the counter, she's like, you know, I'd like to return this. I'm like, okay, well, what was the problem with it? She's like, well, I came in about 3 weeks ago, which automatically makes her ineligible to do this, because the fact that it was 3 weeks ago. Our policy is 15 days, you know, no holds barred. I mean, that's just what it is. You have 2 weeks to take, I mean, for vitamins, usually, like 80% of the time, 2 weeks is more than enough time to know whether it's going to work for you or not. I mean, there's not a lot of things out there where you have to take it for really long periods of time for it to do anything, unless it's like, you know, fish oil or glucosamine or something else that takes a longer period of time to do something. So she's like, well, I took this and it didn't do anything, and you guys lied to me. You guys said that, whoever I talked to said that this would cure my infection in my foot, or what? It's like, first of all, what type of infection do you have in your foot? She's like, you guys lied to me. Whoever I talked to said that this would cure my infection, and it didn't, and so I want my money back. And so I was like, well, technically, you're already over the, you know, the limit for time. I mean, we usually only give, you know, 15 days for these types of returns. She's like, well, I took it, and you guys said that I'd probably have to take it for longer in order for it to start working. It's like, well, yeah, it's an infection. It doesn't just fucking go away that fast. But she was, you know, starting to get all, like, you know, heated and starting to raise her voice. She was like, all right, we'll do some damage control here. So I go and I take the bottle away from her, and then I realize it's empty. And I'm sitting here in my mind, you mean to tell me that you're trying to return a product to me that's empty? You freaking took them all! Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I mean, I can't do anything with this. It's like, you took the whole product. Like, what am I going to return? Am I going to call up the company, hey guys, check this out. So, I need to return a product, but all the pills are gone. The lady took them all. But she wasn't satisfied, so she can, you know, it's pretty much like, she's pretty much expecting, okay, so I took a 90 capsule bottle of something, and I didn't like it, so I'm just going to go in there and, you know, get my money back. It's pretty much like I took, you know, a 1-month trial run of this, because, you know, that's a great way for a business to make money. It's just, hey, yeah, take the whole thing. If you don't like it, bring it back. We'll give you some money back. It's just like a paid, it's like, you know, just a free, long trial. Why not? But it's like, who does that? Like, I ended up, you know, calling the owner, and he's like, well, yeah, I guess, you know, we'll honor it this time. Tell her we'll do it this time, but obviously, you know, give her the whole what for. This is not how this works. We'll tell her, you know, we value you as a customer, but, you know, we're not going to do this again, because you don't do that. It doesn't, we're not going to benefit off of that at all. I mean, we pretty much bit the bullet so that, you know, she could feel like she accomplished something. And she had that attitude the whole time coming in. Like, as soon as she walked through the door, you knew that she was on a mission for something, that she, you know, if she didn't have it her way, then the world was gonna end pretty quick. But, like, what type of mindset do you have to have for that kind of thing? Like, what in the hell was, like, going through her mind? Like, oh, well, I took the whole thing, and it didn't do what I wanted to do, so I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna demand that they give me my money back. It's like, okay, first of all, and, like, just above all things, like, besides the fact that, you know, this even happened, it's like, first of all, we're not doctors. Like, we don't make claims that this is gonna cure whatever, because, you know, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, everybody reacts to things differently, so it's like, I don't know. I mean, and she claimed that it was a young person, so it was either me or it was one other guy, which I'd never seen her before in my whole life, so I was like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about right now. But it's like, what the hell? Like, I can't even really, like, form words to really explain the way that I felt about it. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be, you know, pulling an Indian with a tow truck up a hill, you know, inside of a washing machine and throwing him off the cliff to watch him explode while you're eating a bag of, you know, pimento olives or something. It was ridiculous. It's like, what is the world coming to when people think that they can get reimbursed for taking an entire product and thinking, you know, it's like I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you that these things work, nor would I ever do that. I mean, you know, I do like to boast my products to people, but I'm not going to sit here and, you know, make false claims for it, because that's a really good way to get yourself thrown into jail for, you know, false advertisement and impersonating a doctor. So it would be kind of nice if I was a doctor, so that way I could be like, listen here, bitch, you need to cool it a little bit. This car needs to calm down for a second. I mean, that entire way going up that hill was just a total disaster. He's just like, oh, I'm going to slide this way, and I'm going to slide the other way. This could be potentially bad. Like, this is going to involve a lot of, if I'm going to win this race, it's going to involve me pulling off some pretty interesting technical stuff, which obviously that's not going to happen. We can pretty much call this race a wash right now because of that. As I'm sitting here trying to say, oh, well, you know, I need to be technically sound here, as I go careening into the wall out of control, and now I'm way behind. Watching my comrades way up the road there, driving on air, since, you know, it hadn't loaded to textures yet. But yeah, so that was my day today. I got to, you know, have a lady demand money for nothing. It's always fun. I mean, I'm sure somebody in retail has, you know, has dealt with that before, but it's like, you really? That's an interesting demand to make. It's like, you know, for people to take things like that, like, if you're not satisfied with the product, don't buy it next time. Like, I was talking to another lady that came in, she's like, well, you know, well, when I buy things and I take them and I don't like it, I usually just throw it away. It's, why would you throw it away? Give it to somebody, or, you know, if it's within time, take it back. You can get your money back for that. You don't have to throw it away. That's like the biggest waste ever. Think about how much money it costs these people to make these things, and you're just sitting here Oh, I took one pill, don't like it. Pfft, see you later. Just gonna throw it out. That's kind of the mindset that a lot of people have nowadays. Like, oh, well, if I don't like it, I'll just get rid of it. I mean, it's kind of like the whole thing with like people throwing food out, like, you know, a bunch of food that you don't eat. Like they'll go to like a buffet or something, and you know they eat a full plate's worth, and they're like, oh, well, you know, it's pretty good. And then they go back for another one, and you know, they barely eat any of it, and then they end up leaving. But it's like, you know, what's the place going to do with that? I mean, they're not going to go put it back in there. I mean, nobody's going to eat that damn food. So it's like you pretty much just wasted a bunch of food for nothing. And, you know, you got people over in Africa, they're like, I haven't eaten in 36 days. Oh my God. I'm not trying to, you know, get into that whole scenario there, but that's just kind of the mindset that people here have, I guess. You know, people just think that, you know, if I don't like it, well then, you know, who cares? You know, no big deal. There'll be more next time, I guess. Alright, well, I'm really hoping that this can turn around a little bit. I'm not really having good luck with this race. Seattle is just... Gosh, damn it. Yep, that is definitely... That is going to be a loss for us today. That's just the harsh reality right there. I think that I might have to see what other cars we have. See if maybe I've got another one that I can beef up a little bit, because... apparently rear-wheel drive is just not going to work out very well for this. It's just not. I mean, I probably could have stood with having better tires and maybe like a brake kit or something, but today, my friend, we went to Seattle and we lost. And it was bad. I mean, we're 12 seconds behind. There's just no way in the world that we're going to come out on top of this unless the biggest thing that's never happened before ends up happening. God, I almost spun out again. Nissan Silvia, let me tell you something right now, buddy. I think that your novelty's running out a little bit. I mean, you did me good for the first 3 races, but I think we might have to go a different route here. It's not your fault. I mean, you know, you have limitations. You really do. I was kind of going into this race a little bit afraid that I'd be able to compete in the first place, just because I don't really have a lot of horsepower. I'm kind of lacking in that department a little bit. I mean, I'm able to catch up, so I'm still okay, but the whole spinning out business really didn't do me any favors. At this point, I'm just trying to get a little bit more money. I'm trying to not make an embarrassment out of myself here, even though I think I've already efficiently done that. Gosh, it happened again. That same turn, man, it's killing me right now. And now my controller just stopped working. That's just great. Well, I'll be right back. Well, here we are. Now, I mean, that pretty much solidifies it in stone at this point. We have efficiently, completely lost this race by the largest 38 seconds. Well, I mean, that's it. That's it right there. That's putting the oversized cherry on the giant "My Life Sucks Today" cake. I mean, that was the biggest embarrassment ever. You totally know that all these guys that are in front of me, they're totally just laughing their ass off at me right now. Just, wow, look at this faggot back here in 6th. It's like I'm driving in oil or something. Like, look at this. I can't even. You couldn't even, like, these tires couldn't grip the road if you had Velcro out here right now. 41 seconds. It's just getting worse. This is like the biggest embarrassment ever. Okay, maybe not the biggest one, but this is definitely like the worst race that I've been in so far. I've had a couple of doozies, and this is all sorts of bad. Like, this is like a 13-year-old driving NASCAR. 40 seconds. Ugh. Man, I have a headache from that right now. I have a full-on headache from that right now because of how frustrating that was. I really apologize for that. That was totally stupid in every way that you could put it. For my labor, I get $500. Woo. Might as well save. I mean, that's definitely where I'm gonna have to stop today. So I mean, at least that's out of the way, and that was like the biggest abortion ever. Ugh. At least I get to hear some cool music while I save, because you know my entire psyche has been destroyed effectively. Really? We're gonna freeze now too, are we? That's nice. Yeah, let's keep it going. Let's start the marathon of just insulting Adam all the way today. All right, guys. Well, because of how this is going, I can't even get out of this damn race right now. So what's gonna happen is this is where I'm gonna have to stop, because obviously they just don't want me to do anything productive with my life anymore. So when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Gran Turismo 2, well, we're going to have to try this again. I'm going to go into my garage and see what cars are there, so at least we've got something to, you know, review and see what we can deal with. But there we go. So that's not exactly how I wanted that to go, but that's what they're giving me. So hopefully things will be better next time. This is your host, AMF1534, saying thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.